Look, I know that you have big dreams to transform your lived experiences and your challenges and your adversities and your expertise into a strength, into a vessel or a vehicle to create impact in the world, to positively impact other people or our planet. And I want you to realize that vision, because I know that when you realize that vision, not only do you get to make the world a better place, but you also get to inspire countless of other people on the path as well. And so for today's video, I just want to take you through the most powerful Buddhist practice and technique that I've ever implemented to help me grow my impact. I co-founded a business, a social enterprise in the mental health space. We grew it to over 100 people in about 2.5 years, supported thousands of people across Australia and India, won countless awards for innovation and impact. And this technique has been a real game changer for me, just in terms of being able to flow through the challenges and the circumstances of building something that I'm really passionate about, and doing so from a state of grace and peace and equanimity. And I believe that's really important, so that you can not feel limited or held back by your challenges, of which there are plenty, of which you might be struggling with right now, feeling like perhaps you're afraid of, putting yourself out there, or afraid of rejection or criticism, or experiencing challenges, trying a bunch of strategies and they're not working, or, you're sort of plateaued or stagnating, and, you're wondering what's going wrong, or if there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you whatsoever. And, my mission for you by the end of this video is to be able to walk away with this really powerful, practical tool and practice, so that you can actually grow in a more sustainable, peaceful, and successful way. And I do want to flag, so I'm not, I wouldn't consider myself Buddhist. I really acknowledge and appreciate teachings from a variety of, ancient wisdom texts and scriptures, whether it is Buddhism or Stoicism, or the teachings of Jesus, or Islam, or Hinduism. All I'm really attempting to do here is just, translate my interpretation of certain techniques and teachings which have made a really positive impact in my life, so that you can realize the same results and experience in yours as well. And what I'm going to be talking about today is the practice of non-attachment. Now, non-attachment is something that I was really forced to cultivate during a very difficult time in my life and in my business. We were growing relatively quickly, and we were meeting with venture capitalists. We were, taking trips abroad to explore global expansion opportunities and meet with partners, and there was lots happening. However, I reached an impasse in terms of the vision and the mission with my co-founder. We weren't able to come to an agreement on the best way to move things forward. We had to, unfortunately, shut down that business. And it was really heartbreaking for me, especially since, I'd plowed so much time and energy and love and resources into building something that I was really passionate about. And I realized in that moment that I had identified with this business and with this pursuit and project and initiative so strongly that, when it wasn't there anymore, I suffered immensely. And the Buddha, himself talks about attachment as being the root cause of suffering. What does attachment really mean? It means really identifying with something so strongly as though it's yours. Like when your favorite sporting team loses, and you identify with that strongly, and you become emotionally involved in that and ride the highs of their wins and the lows of their losses. That's an example of attachment. It's attachment to circumstances. And maybe like I remember back when I was very emotionally immature, I would place an order on Uber Eats, and get my chicken wrap from Nando's, but I wouldn't get my peri peri chips, and I'd feel frustrated and launch a complaint against the Uber Eats team and driver. And wow, like I was so attached to getting my meal that I just failed to be grateful for the fact that I could literally just place an order by tapping my finger on a device a few times and literally have food delivered to my door in 20 minutes. So these are just examples of attachments, and they do create a lot of suffering. And within the context of business and you growing your impact and really building your personal brand, or translating these experiences that you've been throughout your life into something that can make a difference in the lives of others, right? It's like your ability to be able to flourish is I believe correlated to your ability to practice non-attachment. The more attached that you are to the way that things are and to the way that circumstances unfolding in a particular way that you'd like them to, the more resistance that creates inside of you, the more inner conflict, the more frustration or anger or irritation or annoyance, which ultimately puts you in a very lowered emotional state and a lowered vibrational frequency, from which it's very difficult to create really meaningful, impactful, inspiring work. So what we're really doing here is, by practicing non-attachment, is putting you into a state of equanimity so that you can, regardless of your circumstances, be able to grow and take action from a really powerful place. And for me, as soon as I learned more about this practice and started applying it, the more I was able to let go of what was, in order to, be able to make way and space for the evolution of, my journey and my business into a coaching and transformation company, which is, what I'm doing at the moment. And I've been able to work with some really amazing people and help them experience fantastic transformations, and, in their life and in their well-being and in their business and in their confidence. And that really was a byproduct of my ability to practice non-attachment, which I want to share with you here, because one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people make, certainly that I made when practicing non-attachment, is falling into what in later editions of Buddhism is called the near enemy of non-attachment. The near enemy of non-attachment is like indifference or disinterest, right? So it's actually disengaging with the world, having no emotional involvement whatsoever, complete, detachment from the circumstances, not really caring at all. That is not what non-attachment is. In fact, it's a very unskillful way to practice non-attachment. Non-attachment is really about embracing the circumstances for what they are, with kindness, with compassion, with a sense of sympathetic joy, and acknowledging that everything is constantly in flux. Everything is constantly changing, from our bodies to the plants to the situations that are unfolding in our health, in our wealth, in our career, in our relationships, and being able to accept the fact that stuff always changes. Stuff's always dying and stuff's always being reborn, and being able to get into that state where you accept the circumstances for what they are. If they work out in your favor, great. If they don't, great. It wasn't supposed to work out in that particular way, because otherwise it would have. And so being able to get into that state of non-attachment starts to infuse your mind with these feelings of peace, with surrender, with equanimity, and it's really just designed to equip you for action taking in a really powerful, peaceful, inspired state. And that, I believe, is going to be one of the most profound things that you can do on your journey, because like the name escapes me now, Price Pritchett, fantastic thought leader in change management and transformation, talks about how when a rocket takes off, it course corrects on its way to the moon. It fails its way to the moon, right? A rocket fails its way to the moon. And I believe that you are here because you're really determined and ambitious and inspired to, commit yourself to something that you're passionate about, that can actually make a difference and can, leave the world in a better place than you found it. And part of this journey involves failing repeatedly, failing so many times. Your ability to practice non-attachment will allow you to move through these failures without judgment, without self-criticism, without beating yourself out, without self-doubt, acknowledging that, okay, this happened to teach me some lesson. What is the good that I can look for in this situation? How is this redirecting me to something even better, even greater? Because that's what I believe it is. So what I really want you to take away from this video is to hold on to a vision of what you'd like to create and the feelings that you'd like to invoke within yourself, perhaps freedom, perhaps security, perhaps impact, fulfillment, and not be fixated or attached to the way that it unfolds, not be fixated or attached into how this strategy plays out, because planning is essential, but plans are useless, right? Because there's so many curveballs and all kinds of unprecedented challenges that you will encounter along the way. And when you practice non-attachment, you can actually flow through these circumstances, through the adversity, through the setbacks, with this state of peace, with this state of equanimity as well. There's another video on my channel where I break down non-attachment into 5 steps. It's a really powerful framework that I share with all of my clients. It's been an absolute game changer for me personally, for my mental capacity and headspace, and for the people that I've the privilege of working with as well. So please check it out. It's called The Power of Non-Attachment, a 5-step framework. It's a longer video. I really go deep into how it works and how you can apply it and practice it. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for following me along on this journey. I'm really trying to be more vocal here and express what I'm going through and what I'm learning along the way, because there's a lot of people that I would look up to on social media, and it's seemingly they would only post the highs and the wins and the celebrations. I really want to be upfront with you where I'm at in my journey, and let you know that, hey, like I've had some massive failures, having to shut things down, feeling really hopeless and desperate. And it's okay. It's actually natural. It's expected. And non-attachment is really going to help, help you move through these challenges with a bit more grace, with a bit more ease as well. So sending you so much love. Have a really beautiful day or night ahead. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.